Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan. Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the page. Got any questions, comments, concern, leave them down below. I normally do a little intro and stuff like that when it's coming up to the first week, but I messed around and didn't get a chance to do that. I was in the middle of smoking drumsticks and whatnot, doing all that fabulous stuff for the opening week and whatnot. I whiffed on it. And I'm gonna kind of run through these scores here, but it's gonna be better next week. I'm gonna have some things prepared and some more things to talk about coming up. I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about coming up to this second week of the season. But I'm gonna start right here and give them a little, talk about a few things here. But I'm trying to breeze through these scores real quick and what I thought would happen in some of these games and whatnot and all that. First game, as we all know, is Detroit and Kansas City. All I'm gonna say is drop passes. Detroit showed that they got something. They was building off of last year. If you've seen them, they was on Hard Knocks last year. The coaches seem to be changing over there. Good thing for the people of Detroit and whatnot. Kansas City, too many drop balls. You didn't have Kelsey. You didn't have Chris Jones on the other side. But in all, still should have won. I don't know why Andy Reid went for the ball, went for a first down at fourth and 25 or 30. His defense played relatively decent and stuff for the most part. But, yeah. But you can't be Kadarius Toney, and I gave him big praise up last year and whatnot, with his past season and whatnot during the playoffs, and he did what he did and whatnot. The kid has talent. He got to catch the ball. But he wasn't the only one dropping balls either. So got to catch the ball. Still in all 21-20. Carolina, Atlanta got a chance to sit up there, see what Bijan Robinson did. Look good. 24-10. 24-10 to Carolina. Kind of figured that's the way that score was going to go. The quarterback over there, my man, he's going to have some growing pains here and there, but hey, that goes with being one of the first picks in the draft and whatnot. Baltimore and Houston, watch that game, watch that pretty from start to finish. Lamar's a little rusty and whatnot. I hate to see the thing happen with J.K. Dobbins and whatnot, but with the thing, what was really impressive, what I thought was extremely impressive in that whole situation with them, what was really impressive to me was having just the opportunity to sit there and have a chance to sit up there and look at my man there. Look at my man there. Let's get to these stats over here. Go ahead. Ravens. Lamar, stats, wasn't all that or whatever like that. Stayed in the pocket and whatnot, did his thing. Gus did his thing. But Zay Flowers was extremely impressive. And Odell had a nice pickup kind of at the end of the part of the game. Only had 3 targets and whatnot. But Zay Flowers, and once everything gets clicking with them, man, they're going to probably be something to watch as well because they can still run the ball. It's just that passing attack is going to be one other thing that they can kind of come along with and start getting to. And we'll see what happens with that situation there. But yeah, that was good. That game pretty much went the way I figured it was gonna go. This was the shocker here. The Cleveland 24 and Cincinnati 3. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, we're talking about y'all just signed Burrow to this, and he passed 80 some odd yards. I thought he was the second coming of Brady. And these are the types of things that I talk about and people get mad at me. He laid a stink bomb like that. Nonetheless, not a lot was said. Now, with Cleveland, what's funny is that I sit back and I look at these situations going back to Deshaun Watson. People forget not that long ago, let's just say 3 years ago, Deshaun Watson had to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the game. And that stuff happened, and a lot of it was all BS, but it happened, ruined him. He basically was out of football for 2 years. And then people was giving him a hard time last year playing for Cleveland when he came in after being off. What he came in after the 11th week or something crazy like that. I want to see the kid do good because he was on the up and come up. And it's funny what after 3 years, after 2 years and stuff like that, what did it do to you? But I'm looking for them, and they harassed old boy all day, and all that. But that wasn't supposed to happen. That's supposed to be that score is supposed to be opposite. But we're going to see how that plays off in the North. Indianapolis and Jacksonville, they pretty much did what did what they gonna pretty much do. Trevor Lawrence be spinning that ball, got to give it to him. They they're going to be interesting to see. We're going to see if it's a fluke, but I think it's going to do that. Going to be all right. Quarterback there for Indianapolis and whatnot. I think he scored twice running the ball or whatever. And like I say, the guy's going to have those rookie growing pains. So the score pretty much indicative of that. This one's what shocked me. Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield against in Minnesota. Eked it out 2017. Old boy Kirk Cousins stood up there and put up all those prolific stats, but he turned the ball over 3 times. I don't think Baker turned over the ball once. Played solid ball, played solid defense. They gave up some big plays, but they wasn't able to run the ball or anything like that. And then boom, there you go. They end up winning. But that's Minnesota. That's Minnesota with a Kirk Cousins team. I say that all the time. Tennessee and New Orleans. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one real short with this because I'm like, you still got Mike Vrabel playing with Tannehill. He gonna keep playing with Tannehill until he's out of a job. I'm still trying to see the connection. I'm trying to see where is this guy supposed to be this? Where is he supposed to be that? I am trying to see this, and I don't see it. You sit up there, you ran old boy out of town. Memory's getting bad. Shit. Can't remember. He was on a quarterback show with Cousins and them and all that, and he won the Heisman Trophy. He went to Oregon and stuff like that. I can't remember that boy. He'll come to me later on. But ran him out. He's over in Philly now. Ran him out of town. You gave it to Tannehill. Y'all had all these chances and whatnot, and he's not produced anything for you. And you still sticking with him. It's quite a few other quarterbacks that can play that role. And I used to say Cam Newton would be perfect for that team because they're a running team first and then hit you with a long pass here and there. But you're going to still stick with Tannehill. Keep going on. Go ahead. Derek Carr got him a win over at the Big N.O. San Francisco and Pitt. This shocked me. I figured it was going to be a closer game, but Pittsburgh just didn't show up. They didn't even get off the bus. And Purdy and those wide receivers that made Patrick Peterson eat his words. So, all that mess with the wide receiver and the one-handed catch and the ooh and the ah and all that shit that you seen. I think he has a hammy. Something's wrong with Haywood going on. He might have to have surgery. The great defensive tackle for them, the nose tackle and whatnot for them. And I'm like, what's going to happen? And 14 Johnson, this receiver, like I said, all these one-handed catches, he's hurt. See, this is what I'm talking about sometimes. Sometimes, man, all that hype and whatnot, shut up. Guys play, San Francisco is a good ball club. They got good players on that club. They're definitely really good on the defensive side of the ball. You want to give Purdy his props, yeah. But like I said, I gauge quarterbacks when they have a rough day. See, Purdy hasn't had a rough day yet. Even when he got hurt, it was shaping up to be that way. But he got hurt, so he couldn't finish out the game in the roughness of it. When nothing is going right, then how do you react? Then how do you get yourself up? He didn't have a chance to get himself up off the carpet or anything back during that time because he had to go out because he couldn't throw. He came in and tried to hand the ball out, but that was about it. Okay, but we'll see what happens. Arizona and Washington. That pretty much figured. I didn't think it was going to be that close. But Arizona hung in there, or Washington, we'll see what happens with them. Like I said, it's still early. Green Bay and Chi-Town. Jordan Love, that's the kid's name, looked really impressive. I never really seen the kid play. I never really seen anything about it. I never really even heard of the kid. And he looked impressive. He looked comfortable. And whatnot. And you're looking at it, a quarterback, if he can get comfortable, that's always a great thing. Or better yet, try to slow the game down some. Jordan Love went to 15 for 27, 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. He hit up with Aaron Jones a couple of times and whatnot. So he did that. My man, Justin Fields, again, running for, every time you look up, he's running for his life. All Justin Fields does is run for his life. I don't see why they don't see that. A wide receiver, if you're a decent wide receiver in the NFL, you should be able to go, you should be able to line up somewhere and play pitch and catch with your quarterback. Run the right routes, right patterns and whatnot, and catch the ball when the ball is thrown to you. You don't have to be New England showed you that. Having nothing wrong with having prolific wide receivers, but nothing wrong with having good receivers that run good routes and catch the ball when their number is called upon. But that kid needs some blocking. Every time you look up, that kid's running for his life. He's running for his life. And everything. So it's 38-20, and so yeah, the kid looked good. We go to where are we gonna go to here? We got 17-16. Of course, everybody gonna try to blame this on Russell Wilson and whatnot, which is like they love to do, even though where did he go? Jimmy G went 20 for 26, 20 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jacobs ran the ball at 48 yards. Nothing, this game was tight. Wasn't a bunch of whole lot of great quarterback play. But, these guys, like I said, first week, Russell basically good, but he was a lot of short passes. I don't think Jerry Jeudy played. I think he was out, so they couldn't even stretch the field. So my man went 34-27 for 177 yards, which means only 7 passes was basically missed. That's a hell of a percentage right there. And he did 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't nothing down the field. Ran the ball, it's semi-decent, but again, first week, we'll see what happens. Mistakes, that's how it always happens when it comes to these different type of this was a game, it was a shootout with that Miami and San Diego. You hear all the talk, you think Los Angeles Chargers is going to do X, Y, and Z. Worried about Tagovailoa and was going to go with him. This guy 28 45, 466, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, that's Dan Marino-esque. They ran the ball, not that great, but Tyreek Hill blowing back, smoking jokers left and right. 11 catches, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hey man, Tyreek Hill's going to do what he's going to do. Waddle. I mean, he got two of the. That's probably one of the top finest receiver duo in the league right now. Okay, just call it what it is. Yeah, man, they put it up there with him and stuff like that. Of course, they was wanting wanting Herbert to probably win more than likely. But he went 22 of 33, 228, 1 touchdown. Austin Eckler, kid's very, very, very good back. Very good back. He can do it all and whatnot. Really enjoy seeing them play and whatnot. And all that. So we go then we go to Philadelphia, New England, 25-20. That was a close game. Mac Jones threw for a gang of yards and whatnot. Threw for a lot of yards, but to no avail. Jalen Hurts, 22 33, 171 touchdown. Hurts ran the ball a couple of times and whatnot. So, the game was kind of sloppy on Philly side and whatnot. I think they lost the linebacker and everything like that before the game. And there's a couple of things going on with Philly. Mac Jones went 35-54 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. But I don't see him sustaining that type of I don't think that's the type of game that he needs to be playing for them to win and whatnot. Still early. It's funny to decide what's going to go on with New England and whatnot. Really, just how that whole thing is going to play out. We also have, they got the Rams and whatnot. Rams pretty much kind of figured. I thought, you thinking with Seattle, you thinking, okay, what they're going to do. But the Rams, they had to get help. They was hurt a lot last year. Got to give them that. They were hurt. Stafford, 24-38, 334. No touchdowns, though. No picks, though. That's even better. And they ran the ball relatively decent. Let's see what Geno did. Geno Smith, 16 for 26, only 112. See, that's not vertically getting that ball down the field, man. And you have DK Metcalf, and you have Jackson Smith, and you have, of course, Tyler Lockett. Now, I think he was under stress all day, because I seen with one part they say showing how one part Aaron Donald got free, and all you heard with Geno say, "Oh God," like you see him say, "Oh God." So that's so I think that, and they got beat up pretty bad. And from the looks of the stats, they couldn't throw the ball, they couldn't run, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't get the ball vertically. If you have your quarterback throwing the ball 26 times and all he has is 112 yards. That's not good at all. You were only with 12 yards over the century mark and whatnot. That's 1980s high school stats, 1970s high school stats, high school quarterback stats. That is not supposed to be that way. So they got some work to do over there, and I don't think I even need to talk about this game here. I don't even think I need to talk about it. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna even talk about the game. I ain't gonna even say nothing about the game. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just let it. I'm gonna just let it. I'm gonna just let it speak for itself. I ain't gonna say nothing else about the game. I ain't gonna say nothing else about the game. There we go. We're gonna move on. Now I tried because of staying up for that other game that I didn't talk about. I got stayed up. I was there up until right at. I think I might have made it to the third quarter, right at third quarter, a little bit after halftime, and I fell asleep. I couldn't go to more. I didn't even realize it went halftime. I think I woke up at like 1 or 2 in the morning and realized I was like, oh man, I've been out and everything, and checked it out. But I was there. I sit up there. Again. And I said this, and that's why I wanted to talk about different things. I normally always do some talk about a few different things when it's about the beginning of the season. I didn't get a chance to do that, but I might bring that back up when I get ready to start some stuff, probably next Sunday or what have you. This is it for Josh Allen. This is it. This is a come to Jesus moment. This is it. This year. This is it. This is it, bro. 29-41. 236 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks to the same Joker. 3 picks to the same Joker. Diggs got his 10 for 702 yards and all that, got targeted 13 times. Ran the ball, it was like they was running the ball pretty good, but I guess you got the Jets defense is as advertised. Since first week, but they were good last year. They just didn't have a quarterback. Now you got. And the hurtful thing was the whole thing dealing with that of Aaron Rodgers. Like, because I like to see Aaron Rodgers play. And for that to happen, that was jacked up. You got Breece Hall, 10 for 127. I mean, he basically should have finished the night. If the night would have went the way I thought it was going to go, yeah, you took him to somebody probably going to have 200 yards rushing. Easily, he should have had 200 yards rushing. But, you got to try to still play with the Bills and stuff like that. Bills still a solid club and everything. But, it's going to be interesting to see what happened with the Jets, though. But they got Breece Hall. If they can get some solid quarterback play, they will be fine. And they will be something that the AFC East is going to have to deal with them guys and whatnot, because they got a little attitude with them and stuff like that. So there's something right now. So we'll see. I didn't expect them to win that with the walk-off punt return and whatnot, but that was something. But like I told Bill, I said, this is it for Josh Allen. Because it's already been leaked out that there's no question that Josh Allen has the talent. But talent is only going to get him so far. Talent got him the magnum opus against Kansas City year before last, or whenever it was 2 years ago, when and all that, and we threw for all those yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns in the divisional round game and stuff like that. And then, but the Grim Reaper came, dusted that up real good and stuff like that, and that was that. And that's the game that talked about. That's his one game. Yes, he's played some decent ball and stuff like that, but based upon what he's being paid, where they put him at, where they call themselves ranking him at, I'm like, this is it this year, buddy. This is it. All that yakety yak talking and stuff like that, this is it. They've won that division 3 years in a row. They won it 20, 21, 22. They've won that division 3 years in a row. Okay? 3 years in a row. And you've gotten to the you got out and you got first of all, you got to the division round. I think you got the division round. And I think you got to the AFC champion game once. I don't even know if you got the AFC champion. I can't even remember now. But you're going back further and further and further. And again, I've already seen where they talk about his talent, and they don't never want to hold him accountable. They don't like to hold him accountable, that he needs to put in more work. That's what Diggs is mad about. He doesn't put in that extra work. He just wants to go off of his talent, because I've oftentimes said when he gets in trouble and flustered, he has a panic button. He looks panicky when he's getting ready to run the ball. He panics. And sometimes that gets him out of it because he's a big, strong quarterback. But you could tell he panics, he loses cool. And sometimes he can get away with a wild throw and stuff like that, and he can make something happen. But I'm saying when he's trying to play catch up and then he starts to panic, that's not a good thing, though. But we'll see what happens. But this is the year for him. They got to get it done this year. The Bills got to get it done, or that's the end of that chapter. And we're gonna see what happens with Cincinnati, because they got it. That window's doing this. I don't care, because They talking about Jamar Chase. They having issues with what's the damn other wide receiver name? Tyler Higgs, whatever his name is, I can't remember. Yeah, Riggs Higgs, whatever his doggone name is. And then they're gonna have to pay. Jamarcus Chase gonna want money. So I said this a couple of years ago. Say, are they gonna be able to keep that nucleus together? Because they've had that opportunity to do what they needed to do. They beat Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl, and then could have beat the Rams, didn't beat the Rams, came back to another year of the AFC Championship game, and then lost. Now what? You've been extremely lucky because you should have got your ass whipped by the Ravens if Lamar Jackson was there, y'all wouldn't even won. But that's another story. Okay? Hey man, like I say, man, like I tell you guys all the time, I'll be back a little bit later on, have a little thing together. Just want to throw this stuff out there, but go check them games out and everything and whatnot. And got some other things to talk about. You checking out the news, checking out what's going on and whatnot. But yeah, man. But like I tell you guys all the time, man. Numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. And there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time as long as time is still going on. All right. You guys have a good one. And we'll be back with a little bit more information later on, man. Y'all have a good one.